Hi everybody, happy Thursday today, snowy Thursday outside. Today our lesson is on area of composite figures, which composite just means taking two different shapes and putting it together and finding the area of them. So this is these questions take a little bit more work, so I've just put 4 questions on this lesson. So I think if you follow along, then we will be fine, but then also please let me know if you have any questions. So number 1 says, Alexia has decided to paint one of her walls as an accent wall. She lives in an older house with a unique wall. Examine the figure below with the dimensions of this wall. So this is the figure. Alexia needs to know the square footage of the wall in order to determine how much paint she should purchase. Enter the area in square feet of Alexia's wall. Okay, so on this one, like I said, you're taking apart different shapes and finding their area and then adding them together. So if we look at this, we can first of all see there's a big square right there. So that one's kind of easier to see. And we can tell that both of its lengths, remember the area is length times width. We can tell that both of its lengths are 9. So that one would just be finding 9 times 9, which is 81. So the area in that middle square, that big square, is 81. The smaller one we can see is right here, and we can tell that one of its lengths is 3 and the other length is 3. So its area would be 3 times 3, which is 9. So we know that the area in that one is 9. So now we just have to take the 81 plus the 9 together to find the answer. And that is how you do number 1. Number 2. Hector owns a local fast food restaurant. He is planning on tiling the floor for a portion of his restaurant. Examine the figure below with the dimensions of the floor Hector wants to tile. So again, there's my figure. Hector needs to know the square footage of the floor in order to determine how much tile he should purchase. Enter the area in square feet of the floor. So this one's a little more complicated in how we need to break it up, but it'll be okay. So on this one, we can tell this is one of the squares, and we can remember area is length times width. So this one, we can tell that one of its lengths is 5. That's probably its width, and its length is 8. So we can take both of those, 8 times 5, which would be 40. So that square's area would be 40. Then let's come back over and look at this one right here. And we can tell that its length is 6 and its width is 3.5, but let's change it to 3.5. So on that one, we just want to take the 6 times 3.5 and get our answer, which is 21. So for that one, it's 21. Okay, then this one's maybe the more complicated one, the one in the middle, but it's also not too bad. We can tell, first of all, that the width is 6, so we know that that's 6. But we need to figure out, like this side right here, or that side. We need to figure out one of those sides. They'll be the same, but we need to figure that out. So we need to use these side lengths, like this one and this one, to help us out. And this 5 will help us out too. So really we know that this whole entire length on this side is 8. But we know that this part right here is 5. So in order to find the rest of it, to make it to be 8, I just really need to take the 8 and subtract the 5, which would be 3. So in the end, that tells me that the side lengths are 3. So then I really just have to take 6 times 3, which is 18, to get the other one. So now, and remember I had that first one, which was 8 times 5 was 40. So now what I need to really do is just add those 3 lengths together to get my answer. And that is how you do number 2. Number 3. So it's showing two different squares. It says enter the area of the shaded blue region in square inches. So this one, in the end, it's wanting us to find the area of this part. But what we need to do is find the area of both of them. We're going to find the area of the bigger square and then find the area of the smaller square and subtract the area of the smaller square from the bigger square. But let's start with the bigger one. So the bigger one is the 8 by 12. So I know that I have 8 by 12. Remember, area, length times width. So I'll just put B for bigger one, and we have it's 8 times 12, which is 96. Okay. Then we want to find the area of the smaller one. So we'll put S for this. We have 4. And we have 5.5, but we'll just say 5.5. Which is 22. Then, to get my answer, I just want to add both of those together. So 96 plus 22. Oh, actually, I want to not add them together. Sorry, I want to subtract them because I'm finding what the shaded is. So I'm going to take that area of the bigger one, 96, and then take out the area of the smaller one. So I'm going to subtract it. So 96 subtract 22 is what my answer is. So go ahead and figure that one out, and then you can answer number 3. Number 4. So on this one, I have a triangle, and then I'm going to take out a square. So it says, what is the area of the figure in square centimeters? So it's kind of like saying, I have this triangle, but I'm kind of chopping out a square part of it. So we have two different shapes we want to figure out, though. The first one would be the triangle. So remember that the area of a triangle is the base times the height and divide it by 2. So let's find that first. So my base times the height, which would be 12 times 10, dividing it by 2. Which would be 60. So that's the area of the whole triangle. And that would be like including that square, but now we need to figure out what the square is and subtract it from it. So then my square right here is 2. It says this is 2 centimeters. And then this section right here is 1.5 centimeters. So what we need to do is figure out on that one. So we're going to go 2 times. So then in the end, the area on this one, because I'm going 2 times 1.5 for square. And I don't want to divide that because that one's just area equals 3. So then basically I want to take that out of that one. So then you just want to take away the 3 from the 60, and that will give you your answer. And so this is just a little lesson on area of composite figures. If you remember to do this assignment until you can get 100 on it, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Thanks.